Testing.
And we're going to talk about life, turning 30, traveling, whatever we want to talk about, really. My name's Brittany, and today my brother Colin will be joining us.
It is nice to be here today. I am Brittany's sister. Okay.
This is going well. This is the back seat of Colin's super cool hippie van. So we're going to have a conversation back here. And during our conversation, Colin's also going to give us a little tour of his van and show us how it works. As usual, don't forget to pick up your PDF guide of this video. It contains all of the vocabulary that we discuss here today. You can get that from the link down below in the description. I will email it to you right now. I have a confession to make.
Oh, yeah?
I have not driven a car in over 10 years.
In 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that I could show you today how to drive a car.
Yeah, so it's going to be all Colin. Colin, you're 29.
I am.
So you actually just turned 29. But perhaps you're already thinking about turning 30.
I definitely am thinking about turning 30.
Age is just a number, though. Let's remember that. Is it a milestone that you're excited or nervous about?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think I'm excited to turn 30 because you start accumulating knowledge over time and you continue to learn things.
But do you feel like it's a real milestone or it's just a made up kind of thing?
I think it's definitely made up. You can't think about it as something that's limiting you.
All right, now Colin is going to show us some other special features of this car. I keep calling it a car, but it's
more of a van.
A van.
We call it a van.
Yes.
Because you can live in it. So the next thing that's interesting about this car is you have a kitchen inside of it. So right here is you have a stovetop, right? If you lift this up and you're out camping or doing something out in the wild, you'd want to make a meal. You could have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner right here. You just make it right here, and you could actually make and eat food here. You have your water supply right here. If you wanted to have cold drinks, we have a refrigerator. Oh, that's not good. We have cold drinks right here in the refrigerator.
Well, we will.
We will have cold drinks. There's nothing in there right now.
Are you planning on taking this on an adventure anytime soon?
I definitely am planning on taking this on an adventure. I will be going camping and going hiking, and I'll be taking this so I could sleep while I'm doing it along the way.
Is there anything you would tell someone who's about to start their 20s? Any advice you would give them?
What I would say to someone in their 20s who is younger, don't hold off doing things until you're older. I think you should do everything you want to do in the moment you're doing it. So maybe when I was younger, I would think I would go travel more later or do certain things later on when I was older. But I would just say to do things when you're young and when you're older. Just do it whenever you want to. And
so that is sort of a good starting point for us to talk about traveling a little bit.
Yeah.
What have been some of your best memories of travel?
I think the best thing about traveling is when you're interacting with different people from different cultures. That's my favorite part. Obviously, going to different places and seeing new cultures is very interesting in its own right. But the best thing is the people you meet along the way. You find out how very different we are, but also how very similar we are. And I think that's the best thing about it. And you make connections with people that last a lifetime. And there's people who I met 10 years ago traveling in Asia or 10 years ago traveling in South America who I still talk to today. And that's the best part about traveling.
And up here we have...
So right here we have, it's kind of like a tent within the van. So if you wanted to sleep, you can pull this out. There we go. And you could actually sleep up here. I'll show you. So right here you have the bed in the van. So if you're out and you're camping, you get a little tired, you come up here and you go to sleep right here. You bring pillows and blankets and you could actually just sleep.
Looks comfortable.
Yeah.
And you can open this window and see the stars.
And there's a window, yep. You can see the stars at night. There's no better way to spend the night.
Ah, beautiful. Yeah, this is a van that is very popular and from what, the 60s?
It's from the 60s, yep.
We would call this a hippie van?
A hippie van, yep.
What's your favorite way to travel?
I'll either do it by myself and meet people while I'm traveling, or I'll do it in small groups. I think that encourages you to get out of your comfort zone and talk to new people and meet new people.
Do you ever feel like shy or like stuck in your bubble when you're traveling alone? Or
absolutely. I think my natural way is that I want to stay in my own bubble. But I think what you find when you're traveling is that you find very like-minded people who are also kind of nervous at first about doing it, but then they take that step to talk to you.
Right.
You know, so I think that we're all kind of in the same situation.
Yeah, both extroverted and introverted people travel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You might rely
themselves.
more on the extroverted people more. Like my sister Brittany is definitely an extrovert.
That's interesting.
Where I think I'm more introverted.
I always feel like an introvert.
Yeah.
And other people tell me that I'm an extrovert. And I test as an extrovert, but I always feel like an introvert.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a little bit of both, or a little, everyone has aspects of both. But
Right.
I definitely think when I'm traveling, I rely on the extroversion of others to kind of reach out to me, and then I'll go along with it.
Right.
And I definitely think you're in that. You're definitely in that where you'd reach out to someone first and talk to them.
It's all a spectrum, right? Because
Right.
I've definitely met people much more extroverted than me.
Right.
Phil is way more extroverted than me.
Yeah.
And I have friends that are much more extroverted. But then also, yeah, like introverted people, I do like to kind of try to get them out of their shells.
Yeah. There we go.
Amazing.
You get another bed.
This is like a typical North American experience, right?
I would say so. I think that when most people go out and want to go camping or doing hiking, they'll bring something much like this van out to go camping because there's room to do stuff in here. Obviously, you can make your food, and then you can go out and do what you want to do out camping and hiking.
Maybe we can talk about some of your favorite places that you've gone.
Absolutely. So I've been to about 30 countries or so.
Wow.
30
countries in 30 years.
30 countries in 30 years, exactly. I made that milestone. It's hard to say one specific one that's my favorite, but there's some that are very near and dear to both of us, I would say. So Korea comes to mind. It's beautiful. The people are so kind. The food is amazing. It's probably my favorite food to eat is Korean food.
Same.
There's cities like Seoul, the capital, which is beautiful, and it's always a fun time. And then the other thing that was great about Korea was I was able to travel to countries that were close to it.
Right.
I was able to go all across Asia. Outside of that, I would also say South America. My favorite country was Peru. I love Peru because I love to hike, and there's a hiking trail all the way to Machu Picchu in Peru, where it was beautiful. It was like 40 miles. I don't know how much that is in kilometers.
I live in Canada.
Yeah.
I still don't know kilometers.
Yeah, but it was a long hike in Peru, and it was just beautiful. You got to see all the different climates, mountains, jungles. So it was beautiful. So I think if I had to answer that question, I would like to say I love all of them the same, but those are definitely two that stand out immediately is Korea and Peru.
Here we've got the steering wheel. Where do we hold our hands, Colin?
On the steering wheel, you want to hold them at the top of the wheel. You want to do it from, they call 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock.
So 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. At 10 and 2 is where we hold the steering wheel to drive the car. Do you feel pressure to meet certain life milestones by 30, and how do you handle that?
I think when I first finished school, I thought that I needed to meet certain milestones.
University school.
University school, yeah. So I was 22 when I graduated university. I think that we're kind of all put into pressure, or there is pressure to accomplish certain things, right, in life. That you want to get a job immediately. Some people might want to buy a house, start a family. For me, I don't know if that was like definitely something that people were telling me I had to do, but it's something that was in the back of my head at all times, thinking maybe I should be doing this.
Right.
And I've learned, as I've gotten older, and now that I'm almost 30, I could kind of reflect on that. I kind of realized that you don't really have to do things that people are telling you to do, or things that people think you should do.
Agree.
Yeah. So I don't have a family. I have a job. And I don't really think about those professional things either. And I don't have a house or anything like that. But I've prioritized what's important to me. For me, it's being able to have new experiences constantly, travel as much as possible, and meet new people. So I think at the end of the day, you need to decide what's important to you, and you could accomplish that. You shouldn't be doing what other people want you to do. So that's kind of how I would put it.
Amen.
Yeah.
But I feel like some people don't figure that out in their 20s.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that is very true. That's very true. I think, again, I think it probably just comes as you get older. I think the last thing that I would want is to figure that out when I was too old and can't do anything anymore.
Or you're kind of trapped in a life
Right.
that you didn't choose.
Right. Exactly.
There's some quote like, most men live lives of quiet desperation.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's no one's fault, really, trying to do the right thing.
Right. Because there's absolutely things that you have to do.
Yeah.
Like, sadly, you have to make money to travel or do anything that you want to do. You have to make some money.
Yeah.
So.
And some people don't have all of the choices and freedoms necessarily.
Exactly.
Many people don't. What else is important to know?
So when you're driving the car, you're going to have your positions where you want to drive. You're going to be in P. This stands for park. That's when you put the car in park and it stays in the same place. R stands for reverse. That's if you want to go backwards in the car. Neutral, or N, is when you're just sitting idle. And drive, or D, is when you're going forward.
And 2 and 1? Nobody knows.
And 2 and 1, no one knows what that is.
Here, I'll let you start the car.
Okay. So when you're starting the car, you have your keys. You put the keys in the car, and you turn it.
Oh, what is that sound?
And then...
Nice. Listen to that engine.
Yep. That's technically the door that is making that beeping. So I'll close it.
So this is an old car too, so it has, it doesn't have a button to put the window up and down. Instead, it's, what would you call that? A crank?
A crank. You have to turn it to turn the window up and down.
This is old school. Okay, how about one more?
Okay.
What does success mean to you now? And has that definition evolved over time?
Absolutely. So I would kind of compare that to, the last question, but I would say success early on was meeting milestones, right? It was being able to do something on your own for the first time, right? The first milestone I really could think of on the top of my head was moving out of my parents' house when I finished, how would you say high school?
High school?
Yeah, high school. When I finished high school and moving out for the first time to go to university, it was like a very pinnacle moment because it's the first time I was living on my own.
Yeah.
And had independence. So early on, that's probably the most, that was success to me, that meeting that milestone. But then it develops, right? Like you kind of look back on that and like, oh, did that really mean that much? I think it got redefined as I moved on to, like getting a promotion at a job, like something that, that was my next milestone that I thought was better. And then now I look back on that and I don't think that was all that or that impressive.
So
I think it's constantly being redefined.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So there is no one success. It's just
I think it's
a journey.
Yeah, it's a journey. It's a journey. I think it's good to set things in the moment so you have something to aim for, whether it's in your professional life or personal life. Have something that you want to obtain. Yeah. But you can't always look too far ahead or do you have to focus on certain things. That's how I would put it.
Yeah, whenever I try to do planning for like a 5-year plan, 3-year plan,
right.
I can't do it. I can't think past 6 months from now.
I don't know what I'm doing 5 days from now.
Yeah,
I can't plan what I'm doing 5 years from now.
Can't do it.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think that's what we have to realize.
You can have a general idea.
Right.
I think that's important.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. Your passion will always guide you.
The kids are coming out.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna go out there.
You want to go up?
Well, I definitely need a picture of you guys up there. In British Columbia, where we live, there are a lot of people that have vans like this and RVs, and they
RVs, yep.
basically live in the mountains and do a lot of rock climbing. All right, cool. Shall we maybe have a drink on your lawn?
Yeah, let's do it. Sounds like a good plan to me.